as immigration is getting more explosive day by day, some immigrants are blaming the black community for ICE deportations, political ICE crackdowns, and immigration policies. But is that actually true? Or people are being divided against each other while politicians escape accountability? Watch these clips and then I'll come back with more comments.
So Latinos are blaming black people for them getting deported, saying we are not standing up for them? This says, but why isn't my black community standing up for you like us Latinos did for BLM? We stood up for you in the voting booth, where it counted, where it mattered. 92% of black women voted against this situation. 80% of black men voted against this situation. And you got the nerve and the audacity when you go and look at the numbers for Latino men and women, how they voted. And I promise you, they didn't vote nowhere near the levels we voted. And now you have the nerve and the audacity to blame us. You got the nerve to be coming at black women in the community. You got the nerve. We told you there were multiple black creators that told you guys that it wasn't just illegals that were going to get deported who had criminal records. You thought they wasn't going to come for my husband, son, daughter, Abuelita, Tio, because they haven't committed any crimes. They just over here living a carefree, safe, non-criminal life. They snatching y'all up too. And we told you that they would, and you did not believe us. And you made a bad decision. So wear it. Suffer in silence. Wear it. Do not blame anybody else. Look at your own community around you. And the rights that you do have, we were the ones. Our ancestors paid for those rights. The 1965 Civil Rights Act, we paid for those. Dogs were let loose on us. We were unalived. We were imprisoned. We went through Jim Crow where we couldn't even eat or go to the same movie theater or the bathroom or drink out of the same water fountain. We went through chattel slavery for hundreds of years, but this is our fault? How dare you? And I have love for Latino men and women. I have love for that community. Lots of friends. Lots of people I've done business with. But don't you dare come at us in this community when we told you what was going to happen. Suffer in silence. Wait another 2 years, vote in the midterms, and then wait another 4 years and vote right in the next election. But how dare you blame us?
Being from Miami, I don't know how to feel about Cubans being in their find out era. Because they took over Miami, and it was to the point where you couldn't even find a job unless you spoke Spanish. And even if you spoke Spanish and you wasn't Cuban, you wasn't getting that job. And I give them a lot of credit because before their family or friends would leave Cuba, they would already have a job, a car, and a place to stay by the time they reached Miami. Like, they really set up their people very, very well. They even had a wet foot, dry foot policy. Where they messed up at was thinking that they thought becoming a Republican was going to make them turn. And the whole time they're speaking Spanish. And a majority of them didn't even bother to learn English, but yet they thought they were. And my main question is, what is the difference between Fidel Castro and 45? Until then, azúcar.
This message is for Cubanos for Trump. Took away your parole program. Cubans, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and Haitians. He just took it away from you. We are officially in fuck around and find out season. Welcome to episode 1.
Did you know that Cuban deportees, especially the ones that are political dissidents and the ones seeking asylum in the U.S., face a significant risk of torture when they come back to Cuba? So when we ask ourselves, when will Latinos for Trump open their eyes, specifically the Cuban ones? The answer is they never will. And there's no better example than the Cuban for Trump than El Funky. He's a Cuban rapper that's currently facing deportation and possible imprisonment in Cuba since his music helped fuel anti-government protests in Cuba. Someone that's been really silent about this case is self-hating Marco Rubio, a Cuban himself. It's a perfect illustration of how much Marco Rubio has changed up during the Trump presidency. Even just a year ago, I'm sure Marco Rubio would have been the loudest person about this case. It's also a crazy example of how much Trump has changed up about Cuban immigration policies. For decades, the U.S. has rolled out the red carpet for Cubans, despite Trump refusing to help these Cubans who have overwhelmingly voted for him. They are still very much pro-Trump, including the rapper El Funky. Talk about fucking around and never finding out.
They both was full of shit of presidents. No matter what, people can go through politics. I don't want to go down that route with y'all because I don't have time for the negativity like that.
Okay, and you are free to believe that. You are free to believe that they were both full of it. And but then what are you doing with the videos then? Why are you posting your fear of this deportation because apparently they were both full of it. So whatever, right? It was just whatever before. So it should be whatever now. It didn't matter before. Why does it matter now? And by the way, just to quote what I said earlier, the reason why you're so upset is because in this regard, he's not full of it. Yeah, because if Trump would have been as full of it as you say, then you will be fine.
Because my people are going through the situation, not y'all. So y'all can go, whatever y'all want to say, I don't care. God bless you. We're supposed to be here for one another, lift each other. What's wrong with y'all? Sick.
Yeah, you're right. We are supposed to be here for one another, love each other, which is why so many people that were not from your community sounded the alarm on what the possibilities might be. That's called being here for one another and loving one another is what that's called. But y'all wanted to dunk on them. Enjoy the victory parade.
They are being starved. They are thirsty, only given 1 cup of water per day, are denied bathroom privileges, are denied medical attention. People in ICE concentration camps are losing their lives. And don't even think about saying FAFO, fuck around and find out, to these people in ICE detention centers. It is a shame that members of the Black community started the trend, and so many other people followed. This is an updated voting poll. Brown people voted for Kamala Harris more. But you fall for the colonizers' divisive tactics, the inaccurate voting polls, the initial propaganda. It is immature and immoral to be centering that type of behavior in response to a community that is being mass deported in prison and concentration camps and tossed out of the country to who knows where without any rights or contact to any lawyer or family. When we should be focused on solidarity, and this has to stop immediately.
So over the past few months, social media has been flooded with emotional videos, hidden live streams, and political commentary blaming different groups for ICE raids and deportation. Some people online argued that Black voters supported politicians tied to tougher immigration policies, and others say that immigrants are unfairly scapegoating Black Americans for problems created by Washington politicians, border policy failures, and federal enforcement agencies. And once these conversations hit social media, the algorithm rewards outrage. The more emotional the argument gets, the more views it gets. But here is a part most viral clips leave out. ICE deportation policy isn't controlled by one racial group. It is controlled by federal law, presidential administration, Congress, and immigration agencies. Different presidents, Republican and Democrats, have all overseen deportation at different levels. And historically, Republicans and the Democrats have all overseen deportation at all levels. And historically, immigration enforcement has affected many communities, be it the Latino immigrants, the African immigrants, the Caribbean immigrants, Asian immigrants, the Somali immigrants, even the US citizen mistakenly detained. So reducing the entire issue to Black Americans caused this oversimplifies a very complicated system. So why are these tensions growing now? We have a few reasons. First, it is the economic pressure. Housing costs rising, jobs are competitive, and people are frustrated financially. Second is political polarization, and every issue in America now becomes racialized online. That is social media manipulation. Rage content spread faster than nuanced conversations. And finally, communities that should probably be allies are increasingly being pushed into conflict narratives. Instead of asking what policies are working, people are asking which groups should we blame?
Especially those of you who claim to be activists perpetuating this FAFOBS nonsense.
Shouts out to Aaliyah, because this is where it was on her page when I first saw this lady, this Mexican lady. And then I went to her page and she doubled down and literally said that they helped us during the Civil War, which is a lie. And the Mexicans helped free the slaves. First of all, Mexico had slavery themselves that wasn't abolished until 1829 or 1830 or something, somewhere around there. And the president that abolished slavery in Mexico was Afro-Indigenous. I don't know why they keep leaving that part out. He looked more like a negro than he looked like. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And when we were down there, we was fighting beside them. We was helping to protect their borders. They conveniently leave that out. All this civil rights, there was nobody that was not fighting with us for civil rights. Is a lie and a scam, not as a collective. And they know a lot of them are anti-black. It is so crazy that they keep blaming us. First of all, we've been saying fuck around and found out, just like we've been saying a whole bunch of other shit that they co-opt and steal and turn into something else. Fuck around and found out never really had no political meaning. That's just how black people talk. Bitch, fuck around and find out. That's how we talk. Why do they keep blaming us and centering us when we are not the ones that's putting them in concentration camps? We do not yield, nor do we hold the power to deport them. They are focusing on the wrong people. Why y'all not mad at MAGA? Why y'all not sticking it to the white man? I mean, we just got to call it a spade a spade. It's so weird that the Mexican and the Latino community keeps coming for black people. It's because we're not putting our bodies, we're not sacrificing our bodies and going and running out and standing on the front lines. Is that what it is? Why they got so much animosity toward us like we're the ones that's doing this to them? We're not inflicting any pain on you. And as per Aaliyah's video, because I never saw that initial video, she played a video of a bald head clear guy coining fuck around and find out for political purposes. Once again, stealing our shit, renaming, reclassifying it, giving it a different meaning. We're not making fun of y'all like that. We really ain't. We don't give a... It's unfortunate, but stop blaming. You're pointing.
Let me be clear. ICE and immigration has nothing to do with Black Americans. This is absolutely an unfortunate situation that our country allowed people to live here for so long undocumented. But that does not mean Black Americans are obligated to protest, march, or put our lives on the line. We already walk around as targets every single day. The system never stopped for us, never did. Following the law isn't hatred. Protecting our lives is not selfish. Black Americans don't owe anyone our safety.
So I'm watching TikTok videos and I'm watching a YouTube video, and this Hispanic lady, I assume she was Hispanic, she looked Hispanic. She was because she was talking about Mexico. She was saying that black folks should help them and protest with them for the deportation. Okay, here we go. Mexicans and black folks don't have a great relationship, period. When I lived in Cali, boy, they came to Compton and boy, they started taking over South Central LA and just bodying civilian citizens. Basically took it over. All right. So I work in construction. So one day I'm walking and I'm on the right hand side. We in a partition where you got to walk right or left. So I'm on the right hand side, just like you driving. My white coworker is walking to the left. He's in the wrong. So the Hispanic person comes to my side and we're chest to chest. And he said, "Oh, is this what you really gonna do?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm at work. You going home?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I ain't got nothing but all day because I'm off the clock." I said, "You the one about to get fired." So then he finally, after so many 30 seconds to a minute, he go around, try to give me some dap. I don't give him no dap. That was just representing the relationship that black folks in America have with the Hispanic people. We always taking on the protests of other folks. This ain't none of our business. This between the Mexicans and them white folks. That's what Richard Pryor said in Which Way Is Up when the son was trying to protest when they was picking the oranges. Nobody takes up for black folks. Mexicans and black folks don't even get along. When I'm at a job, I like whoever like me back. You could be Mexican, white, black, blue, green. It does not matter. Religion don't matter. None of that. I gravitate to good energy. But one thing, black folks, black folks don't care for me because of my faith walk. And I'm okay with it because I ain't in nobody else's business. I don't care. I don't worry about your faith walk because I got to keep on being a better person for myself. But that's what black people do. We take on other people. We protest for other people instead of saving ourselves. Charity begins at home. First thing you need to do is take care of yourself. Take care of your family first. Make sure that they're all right.
Watch this video of a sister who had an epiphany. She said she didn't know that immigrants could be as racist as they are. Check it out.
This mass deportation bringing out the racism in a lot of y'all immigrants. You know that? I didn't know that y'all was racist like that. I really didn't. I'm talking about like y'all saying things like, oh, well, y'all next. I'm talking about black people, we next. We'll deport y'all to Africa next. And okay. But as long as y'all made it seem like white people was just the most racist people in this country, oh no. Y'all take the cake. I find it kind of hard to believe, especially considering had it not been for my ancestors, immigrants wouldn't even be allowed over in this country. You know, civil rights and whatnot. Most of us already knew that Trump, he knew exactly what he was doing, when he was going to bring 14th Amendment and birthright citizenship to the Supreme Court. He knew it was going to get blocked. What's even more interesting is how they'll finally figure out what exactly it meant and who it was for. And oh, when they do, all of you racist people who have just been completely disrespectful to us because you're getting deported, you're going to wish you would have been nicer to us when you were here.
So as you saw and heard her say there, I just didn't know, right? Now, of course, with Trump's mass deportation plan in full effect, we're starting to see and hear a lot of immigrants, talk to us as Black Americans, like, where are you guys at? And it's not right. And you all are laughing at us. And listen, I don't agree with the laughter because as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says, don't laugh, learn, right? So I wouldn't necessarily laugh. But with all the other stuff, it's like y'all laughed at us. Y'all laugh at us all the time. You laugh, you call us names, you say we're lazy and this, that, and the other. But see, when the shoe is on the other foot and you see that van driving up the street, then it's like, hey, Black Americans, we need your voice. Because let's keep it a buck. Everyone else has used the blueprint of our ancestors to fight white supremacy, right? And we're pretty good at it. We could be better, right? And stop some of the other stuff. But nevertheless, we own the blueprint to that. But y'all come over here and y'all get in bed with white supremacy thinking, we don't like them, huh? We don't like those Black Americans. But then you see they don't like you either. See, it's all fun and games until it's not. So as far as us being next for what? We're born and bred here. Black Americans, our blood, sweat, and tears are in this soil. So we ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? But as she said too, maybe you should spend a little bit more time being nicer. And listen, we don't even necessarily care if you're nice. Just knock off the shenanigans. Stop thinking that you are like the white supremacists and that you can thumb your nose at us and talk bad about us and then we're going to come running. That's not how it works. See, because one thing about Black Americans is we don't forget, right? We don't forget that when you was coming over here and getting all there was to get, y'all was standing up at, town hall meetings talking about y'all lazy and all that. We don't forget that kind of stuff. We remember. So the other thing is, yeah, we're a little salty that a lot of y'all came over here getting all there is to get while we're being told no constantly by the same people who was handing y'all checks, food stamp cards, housing and all of that. And our people that are most homeless on the street. Yeah, we feel a way about that. But we're not going anywhere. On the other hand, you might be.
One thing people need to remember is the internet is not real life. Most Black Americans are not celebrating the deportations, and most immigrants are not blaming the Black community. But the loudest voices online create the perception of a war between communities, and once people feel attacked, they respond emotionally, and they create a cycle of reaction and more outrage. Like now, the Black Americans do not want to involve themselves with the ICE protest and the deportation protests, and that is the reason why, because most immigrants are online and they are creating that tension between the two communities. So the bigger question here is this: who benefits when ordinary Americans are divided against each other? Because while communities argue online, politicians still control policy, ICE still carries out enforcement, and social media platforms profit from outrage. And that doesn't mean people shouldn't debate immigration. They absolutely should, but emotional blame games usually produce more division than actual solutions. At the end of the day, immigration is one of the most emotional issues in America because it touches identity, economics, politics, race, and national security all at once. But if people start blaming an entire racial group for government policy, the conversation becomes toxic very quickly. So, what do you think? Are people being manipulated into fighting? Are people being manipulated into fighting each other? Or is this backlash coming from real frustration? Leave your views in the comments section below and kindly remember to keep it respectful. And if you love breakdowns like this, kindly hit the subscribe button and become a part of our family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.